All right, good morning. We are on Wednesday's column of the Q38. Our first box wants us to round this number to each of these places. So the first thing we're going to do is round to the hundreds place. If you recall, find the number we're rounding to, look to the right. If it's 5 or more, we round up. 4 or less, we stay the same. This one is 5 or more. So the 3 is going to round up to a 4. And then if you recall, everything to the right turns to zeros. Everything to the left stays the same. And so here is our new number if we round it to 100, okay? The next place we're going to round it to is 1,000. So we find the place we're rounding to, look to the right. It is not 5 or more. So we are going to keep that 4 exactly the same. Everything to the right turns to zeros. Everything to the left will stay the same. And there we go. Okay. The last one we are going to be rounding to this time is the 10,000s place. So we find the place we're rounding to. We look to the right. It is, again, 5 or less, or 4 or less. So we're going to stay the same. So everything to this side stays the same. So we have our 7,280,000, and everything to the right turns to zero. So it is 7,280,000. Okay. All right. Okay. Our next box wants us to find the difference. Oh, missing part of it. All right. So we're starting with 23,594. We are subtracting 7,598. Okay. First thing we do is we do our ones place. We cannot take 8 away from 4, so we're going to have to borrow and regroup. So now we have a 14, and we can subtract there. 14 minus 8 will leave us with 6, okay? Again, we cannot take a 9 away from an 8, so we're going to have to do some regrouping and borrowing. 18 minus 9 leaves us with 9, okay? One more time, we got to regroup and borrow. 14 minus 5, again, leaves us with 9, okay? Last time, we're going to have to borrow and regroup. 12 minus 7 leaves us with 5, and then 1 minus nothing leaves us with 1. So your answer is 15,996. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. All right. Next, we are going to find the quotient. Find the quotient, if you will recall, means to divide. So we are dividing 9,498 by 3, okay? All right, this time I'm going to do classic way, all right? How many times will 3 go into 9? 3 will go into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Bring down our next number. How many times will 3 go into 4? Well, 3 will go into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Bring down our next number. How many times will 3 go into 19? Well, 3 will go into 19 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract. Bring down our final number. How many times will 3 go into 18? It will go 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. So we have zeroed that out. So our number is 3,166 this time. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay, next we've got a word problem. I love word problems. Okay, the Coca-Cola factory makes 8,547 liters of Coke in one day. How many liters will they make in 8 days? Well, if this is how much they make in one day, we're going to have to, you guessed it, multiply to find out how many liters they make in 8 days. So let's move on. 8 times 7 is... If you said 56, you are correct. Okay, 8 times 4 is, that's right, it is 32, plus 5 more is 37. 8 times 5 is, it's 40, plus 3 more is 43. And 8 times 8 is 64, plus 4 more is 66, okay? We're just going to put a comma in here, and we already put the L for liters, since it is a word problem. So it is 66,376 liters in 8 days. Okay. If If you did not get any of these right so far, or you need some more questions, or you want to ask me something, make sure, please, 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 to ask me a question. All right, next, this one throws y'all off sometimes. It's not as hard as you think. They want you to create a pattern. The rule is A is standing for the unknown number, times 2 plus 3, okay? And they give you this, okay? So if you will recall, I think it's giving us 5 choices. Okay. In the top row, you are going to put what number you're starting with. You can pick any number you want. I'm going to start with 1 the first time, okay? You're going to plug this 1 into your equation where you have your unknown. So A is now going to be 1. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 3 more is 4. And you will put the answer in the bottom row. Okay?
No, it isn't.
No, it is not. It's 5. Thanks, Mary Beth. I was so busy trying to give you the instructions, I did not multiply and add correctly. All right, it is 5. Sorry. All right, then you can pick any number you want. I'm going to pick 3 next time. You ready? I'm going to put the 3 in for the A. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. Did I get it right that time, Mary Beth?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. I'm going to do 5 next, okay? You can pick whichever number you want. All right, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 more is 13. Okay. We seem to be having a pattern here, so let's go ahead and go with 7 next. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 more is 17. And for the last one, I'm going to go with 10. Make it easy. 10 times 2 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. Okay. It does not matter which numbers you chose for the top row as long as you have plugged it in properly and not done what Miss Davis did the first time and get the wrong answer for the second row. All right, guys, moving on. We do have another word problem. Our next word problem says there were 4 1/5 cups of orange juice in the refrigerator. Chelsea drank 1 3/5 cups for breakfast. How much juice is left? Okay, well, if you want to know how much is left, that's clearly drinking it is going to be subtracting. All right, now, can we take 3 away from 1? We cannot. We are going to have to borrow from the whole number. That leaves us with 3 pies that are not cut, or 3 cups that are not cut, okay? And to figure out what goes on top, you're going to have to add whatever the bottom number is. In this case, we are dividing things into 5. So it'll look like that, okay? Again, I highly recommend rewrite the problem. So now we have 3 and 5 plus 1 more is 6. 6/5 minus 1 3/5. What do we have left? 6 minus 3 leaves me with 3. 3 minus 1 leaves me with 2. I got to put the C for cups because this is a word problem. So she has 2 cups, 2 3/5 cups left after drinking orange juice for breakfast. Okay? All right. Next, we are going to solve this problem. We've got 5, and we want to multiply it by 9/10. Okay? How do we do that? Well, we put our whole number over 1. All right? And then we just multiply straight across. 5 times 9 gives me 45. 10 times 1 gives me 10. How many times will 10 go into 45? It will go 4 times with 5 left over. Okay, 5/10 can be reduced. What number will go into both 5 and 10? 5 will go into both, so 5 divided by 5 leaves me with 1. 10 divided by 5 leaves me with 2. So your answer is 4 1/2. Okay, if you are not sure how I got there, you want to see it again, message me in the bottom. Okay, all right. Next, we are going to compare decimals, okay? Comparing decimals, y'all are really good at this, okay? All right, always compare with the largest place first. The largest place in this case is the tenths place. Which one is larger, 8/10 or 5/10? If you said 8/10, you are right. So we are going to put a greater than sign going that way. Okay. Next we have 5/10 and we have 50 hundredths. Okay. Can you compare them? No, you cannot. Okay. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to make sure that they both have the same amount of place values. Okay, what do we put in a place value? We put a 0. And once we do that, we can see that it is equal. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. All right. So, our last box is actually a Wednesday and Thursday box, okay? You can either split it up over the 2 days, or you can go ahead and do it all today. So, let's look at that, okay? Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip it until tomorrow because I'm going to include a little bit of a lesson on this in our lesson today. All right. Thank you, Mary Beth. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.